Y'all know what time it is. Week 7 picks. We're here. Let's get into it. I was 64 and 20. I'm 64 and 29 on the year. We got a massive improvement from last week. We went 12 and 3. So at least we did good in pick 'em, even though Eagles lost. You never like that, but we'll live with it. All right. So week 7, we start off with Jags at Saints, and look, the Saints have a pretty nice defense, but their offense is it's just not good. You know, Derek Carr has not been good in the red zone, and he hasn't been good in general for the Saints. Their offense is inconsistent. The Jags' run defense is good, and the Saints don't even have a run game. And the Jags just have been on a roll these past few weeks. Like, they're coming into their own as a team. They're playing really well. I think the Jags just pick up another nice win here. And I think that's all there is to say. I mean, Raiders, Bears. This game is also pretty simple through and through. Fields isn't playing. Even if he was, I wouldn't expect the Bears to win, but at least it would be a lot closer. This isn't close. I mean, the Raiders' defense is low-key underrated. You have Tyson Bagent coming in for Fields. I think this Raiders offense is going to do enough against a really bad defense, and I think the Raiders will be fine, just cruise right through the week. Browns at Colts, Gardner Minshew going up against the best defense in the league, and the Browns, who just came off of a massive victory against the 49ers. I mean, this seems like another victory. I mean, Amari Cooper should dice up the Indianapolis secondary. The Browns still have a strong offensive line and a strong-ish run game despite Nick Chubb being hurt. And Gardner Minshew last week played like one of the worst quarterbacks in football. I don't know. This week just seems so simple through and through, except for 2 games. But yeah, I mean, this week, I just don't think the Colts. I mean, Anthony Richardson is out for the season. That is just such a bummer. I don't know. And I think the Colts might as well just tank for this season, because Anthony Richardson was our main a form of excitement. Now, I just want to know, though, if Deshaun Watson is coming back this week, because if the Browns are going to make a playoff push, they're going to need him back way sooner than later. We'll see. This is just, I mean, every single game this week, like I said, it's just obvious, right? The Patriots are literal garbage at everything. Their defense isn't even good anymore. Their O-line has been trash all year. I don't even know if Mac Jones is going to be starting. I mean, probably, I would guess. But he's been horrible. Actually horrible. And the receivers just aren't getting open. Buffalo's defense is going to have a nice, easy time. And Buffalo's offense is just going to cook. Bills should get another win. I don't know what to say. And then Commanders and Giants. I mean, this is another easy one. The Giants are literally awful. Washington's D-line is going to smoke them. 8 or 9 sacks, maybe. And Daniel Jones isn't good either. And Washington's offense and Sam Howell should do just enough. Again, these games are really, super, super simple. You don't even have to think to pick any of these. But this is the first one where you actually do have to think a little bit. So let's just begin. So Tampa Bay, right? They're coming off a loss against Detroit. I mean, it's something that we all expected. I didn't expect them to put up much of a fight because Detroit has just been rolling so much. Jared Goff playing really well, and the Bucs are just. I mean, they just couldn't. It was too much. Just like the Eagles game, the Eagles were too much for them. But I think they are good enough to win this division. Their defense is very good. They should definitely do more than enough to beat Desmond Ridder, right? Desmond Ridder fell all the way back down to earth after having a decently good 2-week stretch. But, now he's back down to his usual self, which is trash. And then we also have to mention that, like the Bucks, they aren't really a bad team themselves. And, Baker's been decently good this season. They still have their receivers. Their run game has not been the absolute worst in the league, which is better than everyone thought they were. I think Tampa Bay is taking this game. Detroit at Baltimore, and this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game because I think, Baltimore is just, I don't know. They're a really weird team to watch because they should be a lot better than they actually are. But they just seem to make, they had 2 losses where they actually were the better team, but just due to drops and just untimely mistakes, right? They've just lost inexplicably, like against Pittsburgh and against the Colts. But I just don't think this loss will be as inexplicable. I think I have the Lions winning. I mean, the Lions have just been on such a roll. Their defense has stepped up. Jared Goff has actually become a really, really good quarterback. And I don't know. I really don't think that... I mean, the Lions might be... They're a top 4 team in the NFC for sure. Maybe they get into the top 3. It depends. It really depends on what the Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles do. I mean, all 3 of those teams have looked bad at some point in time this season in a way that the Detroit Lions, they just haven't. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they're the best team in the NFC, but they're getting up there. They're making it competitive. So I'm going to pick the Lions, Steelers at Rams, and the Steelers have been winning games recently, and they did win their last game against Baltimore. And the Rams aren't great, but I don't know. Like, I just see Steelers just seem to be this on and off kind of team every year, and they just aren't a good team, even if, you think they can win. I mean, I think that their defense is going to give the Rams a very hard time, but I don't know. Matt Canada, Kenny Pickett, it's just bad. It's just bad. I'm going to have to pick the Rams on this one. And, the Cardinals have been feisty. They've been a little less feisty. Like, people have been actually seeing them as a competitive team lately. So people are actually, game planning for them. And again, every other team is just about more talented than the Cardinals as well. So that doesn't help. And I think Seattle's just going to keep that going, After that win that Arizona had against Dallas, I guess everybody just... Wait. Oh, yeah. Isn't Kyler Murray coming back this week? I heard that they activated him off IR. That actually makes this game interesting. Because with Kyler Murray back, this team might be a frisky team. Now, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs based just off the fact that they're 1-5. I don't know that, they're going to be competitive enough for Kyler Murray to take them something crazy like 8-4 and make the playoffs somehow. And even that might not make the playoffs. Maybe they have to go 9-3 or something. But even then, I still think that the Seahawks are just the better team. And I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to have a hard time, even with Kyler. So, next up, you have Packers at Broncos. And the Broncos have been genuinely horrible. That's just how it is. The Broncos haven't been a good football team. I mean, the offense wasn't good last week against Kansas City. Their defense is pretty much never good. I see a pretty nice Jordan Love bounce back week here, maybe. That could definitely be a thing. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. The Packers they're not a good team either, but Denver is just really, really bad. Like, they don't have a defense. Jordan Love's probably going to bounce back. And the Packers should win pretty convincingly. And this is going to be a great game. It usually is. But we all know with Chargers-Chiefs, man, the Chiefs always come out on top. if it's gonna be different anytime though, it might be this one. Like a low key kind of take. I'm still gonna pick the Chiefs to win, but I'm just saying, like, if things were to like switch up and maybe the Chargers do pull out an upset, it might as well be this one. And like I get it, the Swifties are watching and oh no, Patrick Mahomes can't lose. This I don't know. I don't know, because the Chiefs have just been looking like not themselves, like they're not dominating anyone really. I mean, it's mainly their defense that's doing all the hard work. Their offense just isn't as explosive or just as good in general as they used to be. I don't know. I think, the Chargers might pull one off. But it's gonna be a tough game. And this is probably the toughest game to predict against the week. Miami at Philly. And oh my God, as an Eagles fan, this game is just... I mean, I think that we have every right to lose practically, because even before, like, we lost to the Jets, I just didn't know that we had it against Miami, because our defense is just... it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Sean Desai has been pretty good in the second halves of games. Maybe our zone defense might actually be a decently good matchup here, because we could, outsmart Tua a little bit, get a few picks, because he hasn't been the best recently. But the Dolphins are just such a good team. And I'm just so concerned about this offense. I'm so concerned about Brian Johnson. I'm so concerned about, Jalen as well, he had a bad ending to last 2 minutes of the game. And, a lot of people see the stat lines like, one touchdown or 3 picks. Jalen was trash. It's not that simple, a lot of those turnovers were just drops, bad bounces, fumbles, stuff that can be fixed and should be fixed. I'm just worried about Brian Johnson's play calling though, because the Eagles just haven't been able to score in the red zone. And this team just, I don't know, they definitely don't look like the same old Eagles. They're not able to score in the red zone. They'll drive right down the field, and they just won't make it happen in the red zone. It takes real miracles for them to, make it in the red zone. And that's not if they're, fumbling and stuff. But my main worry about Jalen is, when that Jets game came down to a 2-minute scenario, Jalen literally folded like a lawn chair. That is a throw that you absolutely cannot make. Maybe we should have just run the ball there? I don't know. But something has to be fixed. Hopefully Philly sees this as a bounce back game opportunity. I'm going to pick my Eagles. I can't pick against them. I'm not about to do that, but this is a tough game. This for sure is a tough game. And look, the 49ers should just bounce back here. Vikings are still without Justin Jefferson. He's definitely the biggest piece on that team, to make them a contender. And the 49ers defense should just stifle them. And I don't care if, Purdy and if CMC and Debo come back or not. The Vikings defense, at least on paper, the roster doesn't have a lot of people. And I get Brian Flores is a really, really good defensive coordinator, but Brock Purdy should be better this week, because, they're not going to play the Browns defense every week. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen. I'm going to go, I was thinking 37-10, but I have a few concerns with this offense. Let me go 28-10. 38. And, I also picked 37-10 in my other, real pick'em, so I have to go all the way over here now and change it. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. This was a short one. I don't know. The games just felt really, really simple. Here are my other leagues. If you didn't see them, I never continued on these other picks, but these were from the beginning of the season. Since this, I don't know. I'm just gonna do something special here. I don't know. Since this video is just so short, I might as well just see what I picked for these games. Oh God, I picked the Bears. Yikes. I mean, this isn't, Oh God, that's right. Because we all thought the Giants were gonna be. Oh Lord. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, these picks aren't great. These picks are not great. Okay. Well, we'll live with that. Yeah, anyways, okay. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you tune into the next one.